Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be having a look at gold. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you are enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below. So this was a member's request, so we're going to be going over some of the potentials here within the structure and where we think this could be going in the near term. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff here. So there's two ways that I'm looking at this move. So either we can treat this as completed into this high point here, and then potentially we're looking for a deeper retracement, which would be a much more bearish account. Or alternatively, we could be looking still for this fifth wave to the upside. So we're going to go over this. So basically, the difference between these two counts is how we count this move to the downside here. So effectively, if we count this as an ABC into this low, we can look at it as a Y wave, and potentially that this is a W, this is an X, and this is a Y down into this low point. So this is one of the possibilities where we're looking for this low point to actually be the fourth wave low. If this is a case, we could argue that we've completed a five-wave structure to the upside here, and then we're actually looking to retrace in this ABC. So we'd be looking for a three-wave move if this is the case, and what we'd be looking for if we come down here into the smaller time frames is basically looking for a retracement down towards this zone of this. So this would be a 382 retracement, this 1891 19.86, and effectively the lower range of this would be that 786. So this would be 382, 0.5, 618, 605, 702, and then the lower range 786. So for the most part, we would be expecting a move deeper down if this is going to be a wave two, potentially to 50%. But I have marked this 382 here just because there's a little bit of confluence with some structure here. So it would be interesting to see how we react around those zones. Though ideally, we'd want to see a deeper move for this. So we're going to have to give it a bit of space and see how it plays out. But effectively, what we'd be looking for within the structure, and I'm going to go into I'm going to turn this off for a second, and we're just going to talk about this being a corrective structure. So we could argue that this is a five-wave move completed here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to the downside. Alternatively, we could argue this is a 1, 2, 3, potentially this is a 4 and a 5. However, I don't like the size of this in comparison to anything else within the structure. We'll have to see if that does actually play out. My preferred count, though, however, is to actually look at this potentially as a completed A wave, yeah. Either an A wave or wave one. So what we'd be looking out for, I'm actually going to just move this sideways a little bit. So I'm keeping an eye out on this because of the fact that the way the structure is forming here, that we could actually see a flat correction play out. And what we'd be looking for is the potential that we could actually look to push down. The 1-to-1 would actually be lower down at this 1832. So if we do push down to this zone and actually look to bounce back to the upside here, and actually look to come up and back above this high point here of this what I've got marked as a B wave here at 1890.21. Effectively, then we could argue that, and especially what we'd be wanting to see here is if we do actually move up in a five-wave structure, this could then be a flat correction in a B wave location. And what this would do is this would just actually move this yellow B wave across to the left here. So this is something that would just change this lower range target that we're currently looking at. So within this structure, like I said, it's possible we can look at this as an a B, and then potentially we're looking to break down. And if we are looking to break down, we'd be looking for a five-wave structure to develop, and that would be looking for this 1793 at a 1-to-1. We'd have to monitor the internals of this, but we could see this start to break down as a five-wave move. And what we'd want to be looking out for here is the potential that this would be a 1, 2, we'd look for a breakdown deeper for a third, fourth, and a fifth. So that's the way we'd want to see this as a three-wave structure playing out to the downside. So the current impulsive area or the typical third wave would actually be what happened there. Let's get up there. Okay. I don't know what happened there. My foot went all nuts. Okay, it would be down here at this 1809. Effectively, that would be that 1618. We'd look for a retracement to the upside, and then we'd look for a fifth wave to the downside. So this is something that can play out here, but we have to just bear in mind that we haven't actually moved down deep enough to sort of confirm this. If we move down towards this 1809.62, then we could look for this additional fourth and a fifth wave. So like I said, that one-to-one target range would be here at the 1793. So that would be a zone we could look to target out if this is just a direct ABC like this. From there, what we'd have to be looking out for is the retracement to the upside. If we see this only happen in a three-wave move, then it could mean that actually we're going to continue lower, and this whole structure is going to become a zigzag for an A. We get another move to the upside for a B, and then we look to push down for another leg for that wave two. So this is something that we'd have to just see how the waves play out, but in in the short term, this is what I'm looking out for. If we do actually break back above that high, like I said, if we do form a five-wave structure, it is possible to face rejection in this red box area again between this 1938 to this 1897 zone. So this would be a 382, 50%, 618, 605, and then basically the top would be the 786. So if we do actually move back up into here, this 382 to this 50% could be an interesting area as a flat, depending if we make it down to this one-to-one area. So that's this area here is basically the one-to-one of this first move. So that's what we also need to bear in mind, is that we could just see this play out as an A, a B, and a C, and we don't actually make that bigger impulsive drop. So this is what we'd be looking out for, to see whether we get a five-wave structure here develop to the upside for a flat, and then look to actually retest potentially some of these points here. 50% would be a good one for that. 618 would be right up here in those bottoms that we previously held. So that could be a retest higher up if that is the case. So it's something we're just going to keep an eye on here. If we do start to break down much deeper here, then we could be looking potentially for the more bearish option, or like I said, that we're just forming that five-wave structure to complete this B wave. The C wave to the downside at one-to-one of the current structure would be 1793. So that's what I'm looking out for on the corrective side. So now we're going to talk about the potential of forming a bigger five-wave move here. But before we do that, I'm going to just flip back up here onto the daily, and effectively what I'm looking out for here, if we look at this, is the potential that we could actually see a bigger breakdown here, where if we did complete into this high, this could then become a 1, 2. This would be a 1, potentially with a flat correction as a wave 2, which would mean that we should start to see a violent sell-off if this is correct. So this is a caveat. If this is correct, we should start to see this third wave become more sort of vertical in its descent, but we would only really get a confirmation by a deeper move towards this 14.52. So this would be looking at the potential for actually forming a deeper five-wave move here. As we can see, um, basically, if we did move down to this 14.52, then we could argue we'd be looking for that additional fourth and a fifth, which would then open up that additional fourth and fifth from this point. So these are this is just something that we could see play out. If we do actually play out like the first five-wave sequence, 1374 to 1309 could be a possible target zone. Alternatively, once we get this retracement back to the upside, I haven't put this box down because it depends how the waves form exactly within the structure, but potentially an area down here towards this 1295 to this 1206. So, that could be moving back down and actually looking to come back into this zone uh, of this previous wave one. So that's something that we just need to keep an eye on if we are looking at this move to the downside. So the next wave count I'm going to be discussing on the shorter time frame is actually looking for the potential of breaking down for this wave three. So let's go into it first and then we'll talk about it. So basically within the structure, we'd be looking for the possibility to actually start to form bigger five-wave structure here. And what we'd be looking for is the potential that this is a 1, 2, and then we'd be looking to drop down for this bigger third wave. So this bigger third wave would look to take us towards the 1736 zone, typically speaking. So we can see here, however, that based off of the current structure, what we would be looking for is the potential to actually move down towards this 1808 to confirm this third wave, but moving back above this 1890 would actually invalidate this potential that we have currently, though it wouldn't like I said before, we could potentially see a flat form here where this is an A, this is a B, and we get a C wave up. So really, until we actually take this high point again of this 1959, it is possible that we could continue to extend to the downside. So, we're just going to give it a bit of space here and see how the markets react. If we fail to break through this 1890 zone again, and even if we do move back up, because what we can argue is even within this structure, that we could have this as an A, this is a B, and then we get a C wave up back into this 1881 to this 1870 zone, and then we look to break down from there. So this could still develop something like this, where this becomes an a B, we get a C wave up into this zone, which fails to take this 1890, and then this wave 2 effectively would just move over. And then we would still have that same possibility of breaking down for this third. Obviously, the target range would change depending on how high we come here, but primarily this is what we'd be looking for. We'd want to see this rejection, even if we do move back up here one more time into this red box area, looking for this deep retracement for a third, fourth, and a fifth. So we can see here, though, that if we just had a five-wave move, as we've stated it here, it wouldn't quite take us down to that 1736 area. So if we do just get this play out like this, where we get this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'd have to be careful because, like I said, this would we're looking out for that potential of that zigzag to downside. So unfortunately, with this move, we won't really know and we can see here that one-to-one of this actually brings us quite well into this zone. So if we do break down, this would be quite an interesting area um, that we could look to find support. Alternatively, if it extends out a little bit, 1772, 1758 will also be interesting zones to look out for. Basically what I was trying to say is we won't really know which one of these options is playing out until we start to break down deeper. So because we're looking for that potential for a B wave correction, until we actually get something like this. So this could just become an A wave, and then we actually move back up and take this high, and then look to continue to push up. Or alternatively, we could come back into this zone, fail to break above there, and push down one more time as a normal corrective move. The What we'd be looking out for here, if we do form these two five-wave moves, is whether we face rejection on the way to the upside again. And what we'd be looking for, so this is obviously nothing's confirmed because the waves haven't come in yet, but as a just for just for illustrative purposes, basically, you know, if we did move down into this green box area and we only then had a three-wave move, potentially back up into the 618, um, then we start to reject down in a deeper five-wave move. What we could have here is basically this whole move then becomes a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we start to break down deeper for that third. And if we had to argue that we would be looking at this kind of an option playing out, what we would be looking for effectively off that 618 would actually be a deeper move down here towards this 1712 30 foot. And then this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'd have an additional fourth and a fifth. So that would be looking for that deeper pull down. So, if we do get this as an additional 1, 2, it's actually going to push these target zones much deeper here. So we'll have to just be careful of that. Obviously, we'll try to keep you up to date as we get more information. But sort of the key area for the short term is this high here of this 1890. If we maintain this, then we could be looking for this breakdown directly, like we've got it here. However, if we break back above that, I would be cautious of that B wave area that we talked about within this count here. This 1897 to this 1938. Moving back up into this zone could give us further rejection, and we could actually look to break down much deeper. So this is just something that we need to just give it a bit of space and see how it reacts. So we've got our points here. Like I said, this one-to-one would actually be here at this 1832. So just directly moving down here, like this, A, B, C, could complete a move, and then we'd be looking to push to the upside. So the one-to-one is that sometimes we won't reach it. We won't reach that one-to-one. The minimum has been met technically. We've already come down to this 854. Oh, that is actually higher up. Okay, so let me move that. So effectively, that is higher up here. So that one-to-one would actually be this 1838. Sorry, disregard what I said. basically that would be off of this zone here. So, we could actually argue that if we have potentially completed here, if we're looking for a B wave, alternatively, like I said, we could actually continue to dump here and then look to push down lower. Or alternatively, we get that push up in a five wave structure. So this is a zone that we're just going to have to keep an eye on within the structure here. This if we do get a five wave push up here, watch out for this zone. Only really by breaking this 1959 do we invalidate this potential to extend out in an impulsive manner here. So just we'll just have to keep an eye out for that. But basically, yeah, we'll keep you up to date with the moves as we see them. I hope you found the video useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you get kept up to date. And in the description, you'll also find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Once in the general chat area, just add mention member staff. We'll be happy to help you out with anything you may need. In the description, you'll also find a link to affiliate links for BYBIT and PrimeXBT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis when we're doing our trading. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and there are deposit bonuses which can be found through checking through those links on the websites. So check it out if you don't have an account already. And like I said, if you do use the link, it does support us and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next.